Hi, and welcome back. The second part of our cost cards is to understand how to use the cost card template. The first thing we need to do is open up another cost card or a recipe sheet, and you're just going to transfer all of the recipe amounts and the ingredients and the invoice cost onto our original template. The first thing we do is go into the recipe quantity. We're going to highlight this area all the way over to edible yield. Right click and click copy, or you can control C, it's the same thing. And you're going to paste that in that first cell. Okay, pretty easy so far. The next step is to take the ingredients all the way over to invoice. Control C or right click copy, and then click on ingredient in the cell you want that to go to and click paste. You'll notice that when you paste the invoice amounts, you're going to see an error called value. It's similar to the division error. The division error, the formula does not understand a zero. You can't divide anything by a zero, so that's an error. The value error means there is a letter or some type of character that's not the norm for a numeric number. To fix the error, you're going to look at recipe unit, and that's in cups, and you're going to convert the gallon into cups. So 1 gallon is 16 cups, so we're just going to put 16 in there, and you'll see that once you've done that, the error goes away and it computes your numbers for you. So we have to do the same thing with pound. Pound is usually anytime you see a pound, an ounce, a cup, that means that it's 1. So what we're going to do here is convert the pound, this ounce, into pounds. So let's go ahead and convert the next step is to convert this pound into an ounce. So we'll go ahead and convert. That's 16. The fettuccine alfredo, 1 to 1 pound. The fresh Parmesan cheese, LB to an ounce, so pound to an ounce would be 16 again. Now the next two is salt and cracked pepper. Those are Q factors, and in Q factors we just zero them out. 0 and 0. We want to do the same in the cost, but it's not letting us, so let's unprotect this sheet. I just went up to review and protect sheet and click on it. Click on unprotect, and then your protection will disappear. And let's see what it's given us. Okay, so now we have all of our individual ingredient cost, and in order to get to the total ingredient cost, we're just going to either zero these out, so it's easy to do. You can just click 0 all the way down, or you can highlight the ones you don't need anymore, the cells you don't need, right click and clear contents. Okay, we now know that the total ingredient cost is $3.56. We put a Q factor percentage, which is typically 3, so we're going to use 3. And that gave us 11 cents. So $3.56 plus 11 is the recipe cost, which is $3.67. It's still giving us an error for the portion cost. So if we look up to our standard yield, we forgot to put in the top portion of our cost card. So let's fill all of that top portion in right now. I'm going to pick up the entree and the fettuccine alfredo, copy and paste it into my other worksheet. Same thing with the standard portion. I'm going to copy and paste the standard portion. and paste. Now, one thing I want to do with the standard portion, just in case we might need to use it for conversions later on, I'm going to change that into just a numeric box. And next to it, I'm going to put OZ. So I still know that it's 6-ounce portion, and this recipe makes 4 6-ounce portions. But in case I wanted to use this cell later on, I can now use it. Okay, so we now know that our portion cost is roughly 92 cents. It's telling us it's 0.91734375, that is in a percentage. So in order to change that into money, we're going to go into Format Cells and go into Currency and hit OK. If we had any other additional ingredients, we are going to put them in here. So let's put in rolls and salad. So rolls are typically 5 cents, so we'll say it'll be a 10-cent additional cost, and our salad is 65 cents. So that brings our total food cost for this one plate at $1.67. We don't include any beverage or anything that is not underneath a cover, a banquet cover of the plate. So anything that is served to the customer that is literally on the plate goes into this cost card. Nothing else. So the desired cost percentage that we use is typically the national average, which would be 30%. That gives us our preliminary selling price at $5.56. It's giving us a percentage again, so we go into Format Cells, click on Currency, and hit OK. Okay, our actual selling price, we will look at direct and indirect competition. We'll also look at what our survey is telling us, how much our customers are willing to pay for entrees. And then we price this accordingly. This is a lunch item, so we will probably be able to get, I would say, $9.75. We'll go on the lower side of $10.25. It does come with rolls and salad. So our actual cost percentage now is our food cost divided by our actual selling price, which gives us 16.27%. Now, if we want to know what our contribution margin would be, percentage, we could just take the 30% and minus our actual percentage. And that tells us this one particular item of the fettuccine alfredo is contributing 13.73%. Okay, this is the conclusion of transferring a standard recipe card onto your Excel template of a cost card. The next step is to save the name or change the name from sheet 1 to fettuccine alfredo. And I always like to put cost card so I don't get the recipe card and the cost card confused. And save it under your initials and the name of the assignment. Thank you. See you in class.